Tell me what must I do? Come to you, come to you. You're mine, mine, mine. It's right. It's right now. Why are you hiding? Tell me what must I do? Come to you, come to you. I try to let go of all of the nonsense that you put me through. I give it all to you. I do it all for you. Maybe this feeling's overdue. You're uninvited.
What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Welcome to Off the Bat, sponsored by the ATS Spot. I'm Hefe. I got Alpha Dog with me per usual. Special guest in the building, none other than Dead Prez in the flesh. What's up, man? Good afternoon.
What's up, boys? How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. No complaints on my end. Nice little baseball early. No, actually, only one early game. Nice little baseball slate tonight. Wow, a lot of games tonight. So can't wait to get into it. Break some things down. And give some people some free plays, guys.
100%, man. It's a huge day today. We have the Subway Series brewing in New York. We got a pretty big series going on in Philadelphia last night. I'm sure Dead Prez will have something to say about that. Big win by your Phillies. They completely boned me. But we move on to today's slate. Heifer, want to get us started?
Yeah, man. We can just roll right into it. Yesterday was a pretty small slate of games. The only thing that I can really speak of is you guys were right, man. Those Dodgers, they lost. Nationals ended up getting the win. Royals got the win. Diamondbacks got the win. A lot of sharp lines yesterday. I'm interested to see where that will take us in today's slate. But let's get into it. We got a lot of games to roll.
Quickly.
Yes.
Tutti Gusti in the house, in chat, saying Dead Prez wins best dressed. I got to give it to him. Before we started the show, I told him how good he looked in that zip.
Oh.
I agree with you, Tootsie.
Oh yeah, I do. I love myself a good zip up, man. It's like a nice little 7 a.m. tea time attire you have there.
Yeah, it's cool
Right?
today. A lot of rain and stuff, so
We'll take it, though. It's been so freaking hot up here.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
All right, guys, let's get into what do we got first. Pirates, Cubs, the only I guess, yeah, it's a day game. It's 2:00 start. We have a Keegan Thompson, a game for the Cubbies. He's 7-4, 3.4 ERA on the year. Wilson on the mound for the Pirates, 1-5, 6.5 ERA. Alpha, start off our day.
This is a tough one here because Keegan Thompson has been good all year, but in a couple starts recently, he has not been fantastic. And at the price of -180, -190 on the Cubs, I think this one is pretty sharp. There's not much I'm going to want to play on this one. Dead, any action from you on the first game?
I went with the Cubs team total under 4.5. So statistically, they average, I think, like 4.2, 4.3. So they're kind of right in that. Oh, there it is, 4.3 on one. It's right on the screen. But I'm gonna fade them here with the 4.5. I think they have the lead, so they only get 8 innings in this game. I think this will be a tight one, but I see a low scoring affair here. So I like the under, but I like the Cubs team total under here at 4.5.
I like your approach on that one. I'm gonna roll with the Cubs here. Just think this is a Pirates team that really is in a bad spot in their rotation. Brubaker yesterday, Wilson today. Keegan Thompson's probably the Cubs' best pitcher. His day stats aren't the greatest, but I'm hoping that they can pull out the win with just a better pitcher performance. I also see a low-scoring game. I don't see either of these teams really getting off to a hot start. This is going to be one of those 3-1 games possibly that I hope the Cubs can win.
I love it. Let's get to the next one. I like the next game we have on the slate. I definitely have a play on this one.
Marlins and the Reds coming live from Cincinnati. Hunter Green on the mound. Feel bad for this guy. He's got a lot of hype around him, but this year he might just not be ready on a team that's going to push you out too fast to the league because they don't have a lot of MLB-ready players. He's 3-11, 5.78 ERA. Going up against Lopez for the Finns, 6-5, 3.1 ERA. Alpha, you said you got some, so start us off.
I do. I like to take an angle on Pablo Lopez in this spot. He's not coming off a great start himself, but I don't anticipate the Reds to have hot bats 2 games in a row. Yesterday was truly, I thought the Marlins were going to take that one, and they really just did not. It was kind of a blowout right from the beginning. So I think today's the day we do see the dead bats, and you get the Cincinnati team total under 4. It's my favorite play on this game today. Dead, any action from you?
Yeah, well, I like that angle. So I want Pablo Lopez over 17.5 outs. So basically this is to go 6 innings here. I see it the way you see it, honestly. I think this is a really good bounce back spot. Cincinnati offensively is still pretty benign, even though you see they're scoring 4.41. They've played better baseball, obviously, the last 2 months. But I think this is a good angle here on Lopez because it's a good buy low. He's only gone over this number 1 time in his last 5 starts, 5 innings in 4 of his last 5 games. So he's kind of got stuck there. A lot of that has to do with his pitch count, so he struggled a bit with his command, kind of running up the numbers. But I think he'll be ready to go tonight against a Reds team that he should be able to take care of. We know offensively they're fairly limited, and Lopez still has some of the best stuff in baseball. So yeah, I like the team total under there. I think the Marlins win, but my favorite play here is going to be Pablo to go over 17.5 outs.
I'm not really even going to think too hard into this. I'm taking the Marlins in a bounce back here. I like this number, minus 115 on the money line. I've seen Hunter Green pitch too many times. He's a strikeout machine, but at one point or another, he just gets himself into trouble, and the Reds have no willingness to pull him out. So that's where I see this game going. I'm going to take the Marlins on the money line here. That's my favorite play out of this matchup. Did you see the Marlins just keep getting banged up? John Birdie yesterday was added to the 10-day IL. They're still not going to have Garrett Cooper. Their lineup just keeps getting weaker and weaker. So it's a tough part of the season for the Marlins right now with injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and remember, this is a really important week for a lot of fringe playoff teams. Which way you going, you buying, you selling, you're staying put.
Yeah.
Every game really has a lot of importance in this very random week as we approach the trade deadline next week, I believe.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, take it over to Philadelphia. Dead's homeland. Nola on the mound. Dead press throwing out the first pitch. Nola is 6-7, 3.1 ERA on the year, but a sub-1 whip. I always find that such an interesting number if you have an above 3 ERA, but a sub-1 whip, basically saying, yeah, you're pitching great. Your team's just not giving you any runs.
Yep.
Strider on the mound for the Braves, one of the best young pitchers in the league. He's 4-3, 3.03 ERA, but he's one of the highest strikeout pitchers in the major leagues this year as he's been called up. Dev, we'll start with you, man. Home team, what do you got?
I like the under here. You kind of mentioned the Phillies for some reason don't score when Nola pitches, and he's had an outstanding year, really 6-7. He deserves a much better record than that, obviously, with an ERA there at 3.31. And Strider on the other side of things, one of the best young arms in the game. Phillies, they're dealing with a lot of injuries right now. Obviously, Bryce Harper's been out for a while, but also Gene Segura. If you look at the lineup here right now, there's a lot of holes in this Phillies lineup, especially once you hit that 6 through 9 spot. Those guys typically don't come through. Although Bryson Stott last night had the big blow at the bottom of the line.
Brutal.
Sorry, Alfred.
Brutal.
And I'm not and I was left on left. I mean, that won't happen again probably all season long. But they got the lucky win last night. As far as a side here, I would actually favor Atlanta if I were to go to a side, but I'm going to stay off the side here and trust the under at 7.5.
Well, I don't like what I'm about to do, but I am on the opposite of dead here. This is going to be a complete public fade for me. Public fades on the totals have been very successful. We went through a bunch of them yesterday. The Angels and Royals went under when the public was 90% on the over. The Padres and Tigers was 98% on the under. It's that soared over. And we have another spot here today that I'm going to be taking advantage of. The over in this spot, coming up to the exact percentages, it's 91% right now on the under. So it's just going to be that 9% fade on the over. They've been hot, and we're going to keep playing that system for now on the 90%ers and higher. Hefe, what are you taking?
Braves. I'm taking the Braves here. The Phillies bats, they don't bat for Nola. It's statistically proven all year long. We got holes in this lineup all the way up and down. Phillies are in a weird spot. They're right there for that third wild card spot, battling the Cardinals, who are all in on a Juan Soto possible trade. You got the Giants right there, too, who are one of those real weird teams that you just kind of when is the year that they're ever going to fall off? But somehow they just never fall off. The Phillies are in a weird spot. I would be shocked if they're not buyers this trade deadline because they need to fill some holes ASAP. And if they're not, though, it's even more interesting because I would sell some people off. You got.
I don't think they can.
The treadmill of mediocrity is the worst place to be in sports, and the Phillies are finding themselves right here, right now, against a team, the Braves, that just are looking exactly like they were at this point last year, on the up, on the right time. Taking the Braves here on the money line, minus 120.
All right, boys, what do we got next?
Subway Series. Listen, why do they do? Let me tell you, ESPN. There's some smart freaking people, baby. They planned this a long time ago because you got the Derek Jeter documentary coming up all this week. You got the Subway Series. It's all coming in unison right now. It's only a 2-game series, which I kind of hate, but it is what it is. But tonight we got J-Mo on the mound for the Yanks, Montgomery, and we got Taijuan Walker on the mound for the Mets. The Mets starting pitching has been exceptional these past couple games. Even though they have not, they lost a series to the Padres. It wasn't due to their starting pitching. It was just due to their lack of offense. Alpha, let's start with you.
Yeah, the Mets are also coming in off a rare off day. They were off yesterday, as well as the Yankees. So both teams are coming in fresh. I do believe this game is critical for the Yankees because tomorrow they are throwing in the towel. Tomorrow the Mets are going with Max Scherzer. And the Yankees, for some reason, are rolling out Domingo Germán, they announced this morning. Domingo's pitched in 1 game this year. He got absolutely lit up. So I do believe the Yankees may go with an all-out lineup tonight. The lineup has not been released, but I do think you're going to see all the big-name Yanks in there tonight, and tomorrow you may see a lot less of the big-name
I'm sorry, so Montgomery's not starting this game?
Montgomery's starting today, so I think today is the day the Yankees are going to win and go all out with a full lineup. Tomorrow is when we're going with Domingo Germán against Scherzer. So tonight I think is the night we get Judge in there with Stanton, with Rizzo, with everybody, and the Yanks will get this one done. Give me the Yanks on the money line.
Dead?
All right, I'm gonna go the other way here, and you guys are gonna be upset with me, but I'm gonna go with the Mets here on the money line. Walker's been outstanding this year. Weird thing with him, he was an all-star last year, and he blew up in the second half of the season. His numbers are better this year, and no one's really kind of giving him credit. Obviously, he kind of gets swept under the rug in that rotation with Scherzer and DeGrom and Bassett. They have better arms than him, but I mean, if he's your number 4, that's a pretty scary sight. So. I like him here. I think that the angle here on the Mets is a good one. It's a tough one. I think it's going to be a close game the whole way through, but I kind of like them at a slight dog price tonight. I'm going to back Walker and trust the Mets. But yeah, this should be a really good series. I heard a stat. This is the best record that these both teams have playing each other in the history of the Subway Series. So it should be outstanding. I mean, it's going to be exciting either way. But I like the Mets tonight.
As Alpha said, it's a rare day. Both these teams are on an off day coming into this game. So it's very rare for that to happen. And both these teams are playing amazing. Mets 59-37, Yankees 66-31. I lean the Yankees here, obviously. I understand why you would take Walker. He's having great numbers, 7-2, 2.55 ERA. I don't know if you guys read into daytime versus nighttime stats. This is a 7 o'clock pitch. Walker is 4-0 during the day. He gets most of his damage done during the day. I'm going to roll with the Yanks here, but it's not one of my favorite plays. It's just where my heart goes, baby. Just where my heart goes. This is also very, very important week for both these teams. Both these teams should be big buyers at the deadline. You got so many rumors around so many of these guys.
You two coming in at Dead's neck, huh? What fraternity is Dead present?
Fiji, baby. Phi Sigma High.
Alpha Sig.
Alpha Sig. Oh, Alpha, there you go. Very good choice. Very good choice. I like it. One more quick thing on that Mets game before we move in. I think the key to this entire series is the key to what the Yankees have done all year long, which is knock the starter out of the game. They have long ABs, and they knock starters out by the 4th and the 5th. I do think the Mets have the starting pitching advantage tonight, but when it gets to the bullpen is when the Yankees have done damage all year long, and I do think that's when they're going to. So what do we got next? Let's keep it moving.
Yes. What do we got, boys? Guardians, Red Sox. This team is a dumpster fire. In Boston, I'm talking about. We got Shaw on the mound for the Guardians, 4.2, 5.2 ERA. Winkowski on the mound for the Sox, 3-4, 4.3 ERA. The Sox did, my God, YouTube chats are going crazy. The Sox did announce earlier today that they are not interested in trading Xander Bogaerts. I think that's a mistake. Yeah, this was the comment I was talking about.
I'll send it to him after.
Yeah.
To be honest, I did them before the show. I did them.
Yeah,
if you need me, Yeah.
All right, guys. All right, Alpha, what do you got? Sox Guardians.
Man, nobody's backing the Red Sox right now. I mean, it's literally impossible after they've been arguably one of the historic worst runs in baseball history. What have they been outscored by more runs since any team since 1904 in the last week? 1904.
They got the win yesterday, man. Have some respect.
Man, they got one, but it's against a pretty bad Guardians team right now. The Guardians just could not capitalize last night. What did they have, like 12 or 13 hits, and they can only bang one across? This is going to be a stay-away game for me. I liked the over last night, thinking the bats were going to stay hot, and they just didn't. I have to see a little bit more out of the Red Sox before I start backing them again, and I think the total's sharp at 10, so no action for me.
Well, my max yesterday was Boston, and I was definitely scared to do it, but it just felt like the right spot. I mean, you mentioned that.
Nice play.
Yeah, I thought it was the 1800s. It's been the worst, like 5-game differential, or maybe it was 19-0, whatever. Who cares when it was? But bottom line, it's been over 100 years. So they were on a brutal streak. I think they win again tonight, though. I do like Boston to rip off a couple wins. I don't know about the status of Martinez, if he'll be back in the lineup for this game tonight. Obviously, that would help out a lot. But I think that Boston bounces back. Cleveland's not a good team, even though their record indicates they're a game over 500. I think they have one of the worst lineups in baseball, really, outside of Jose Ramirez. They don't have anyone. Rosario's had a good year, but they don't have enough pop in that lineup. So I like Boston to get another one tonight.
No love for Josh Naylor, huh? Guys had some big moments this year, but I agree with you. It's not consistency. And Stephen Kwan as well was one of the best hitters to start the year, but you really haven't heard his name since the first couple weeks. He's just been mid-road. So, Hef, what are you thinking?
Nothing for me on this game, guys. I've said this yesterday, and I'll keep saying this. I'm off the Red Sox this week. They are in a really precarious spot. Every win they get pushes them to be a buyer. Every lose they get pushes them to be a seller, and I just don't know mentally where they're at. I'm off the Sox this week. I don't like what they got going on right now.
No, their own players are miserable to be there. It's just not a positive.
Exactly. Mentally,
it's a real struggle right now in Boston. They need to get through this deadline with as minimal losses as possible to have any chance at a late season run. But more to come on that. We will see after the deadline.
Right, let's keep it moving. This next game is one of my favorite games of the day, actually. Angels Royals. My most hated team in the major leagues is the Angels. If you watch the show, you know they are ruining baseball for me and for all fans everywhere. And they're coming into today losers of they're 2-11 in their last 13, which shouldn't surprise anybody. They got Suarez on the mound. He's 1-4 to 5.6 ERA, 0-2 on the road. Zerpa on the mound for the Royals. I don't have much information on him. Looks like he might be a bullpen guy. He's 2-0 with a 1.2 ERA across 7 innings pitched this year. Royals took care of business pretty easily yesterday versus this Angels team, even though Greinke got out of the game early. It was no issue late in those late innings where they went 7-0. Was the game?
It was 7-0, but it was 1-0 going into the bottom of the 7th, and the game ended at the top of the 9th. So they scored 6 total runs in an inning and a half.
Can I just want to run through the last 5 games of the Angels. This is comical stuff. They're 1-4. Here are the losses: 7-1, 8-1, 7-2, 7-0. Here's the win: 9-1. Basically, what happens is they just don't bat for 10 games in a row. Just forget about that aspect of life. And then one game they just decide to bat and actually try. They're not going to try tonight. I'm taking the Royals on the money line, -120. The Angels they're lost.
The line is off. This should be a bigger gap to me. Because of that, I'm staying off of it. Initial lean, I like the Royals as well. But when you take a look
at the Royals, it's the 39-57. What do you mean?
I understand, but you know who's likely out tonight. It looks like there's no Shohei, no Trout, no Walsh. They're missing everybody. Or not Walsh, sorry, they don't have Duffy. It's Duffy, Shohei, and Trout, who look like all 3 will not be in the lineup tonight. It's not official yet.
That's good news. They've lost 6 straight games when Ohtani is homered. This is good news.
I just think the line is off, and for that reason, I'm staying off. Dad, anything for you?
No, well, I'm with you there. I mean, this game is just an absolute stay away. For me, I think the Angels are by far the most disappointing team in the league. I don't even know what
Blue Jays do.
Right, yeah, but at least Toronto, they can still be a playoff team, right? Like the Angels are just dead. Like there's no, and they're in such a bad spot. I don't know what their future looks like. Now you're hearing Ohtani might be moved. I don't know what's going to happen with this team.
Not happening. It's not happening. Shohei wants to be there. We say this every day on the show. Trout and Shohei do not want to be in the main spotlight. If they did, Trout could have gotten out anytime over the last 10, 12 years. And Ohtani chose to sign there knowing what kind of publicity they have and the lack of media coverage. They still get it now, but it's kind of exactly what Shohei and Trout want, limited media. And one thing I will say, it's definitely Joe Madden's fault, right? Good thing they fired him. They
right.
much better since
the team is a mockery of a baseball organization. They should be stripped of their ability. They should be down to I wish we had relegation like in European soccer. Angels would be numero uno to go down to AAA for me.
100%. They should go to KBL. What do we got next?
Embarrassment of a franchise. White Sox, Rockies coming from Slam's backyard. We got Marquez on the mound, 6-7, 5.47 ERA for the Rockies. Sox got Kopech on the mound. Remember when he was supposed to be all that in a bag of chips? 3-6, 3.36 ERA.
It's not a bad ERA. They just suck when he pitches.
No, this guy was supposed to be the second coming of Jesus.
He's got a 3.3.
Wasn't he the number one return they got in the sale trade from the Sox? Yeah, he was.
I believe so.
He was the number one prospect in baseball at the time. This guy was supposed to be everything. Who was they had another young player. John Moncada, right? In that trade. Yeah. I don't know why I know that so well. But
anyway, that was very odd.
Yeah, I don't know why I know the details of the Chris Sale trade. Maybe because I wanted him so bad at that moment for the Yankees.
I did not.
Before
we say anything, I have something to put out on this game. Public betting percentages. This is a 99% on the over. 99% on the over with Marquez at home.
11
on the road. It's at 11. And the line has not been moving up. What does that tell you? The line is staying where it is, but you're seeing 99% of money on the over. The man in the back is saying that I'm lying. You can pull it up. I know you use some of the same apps I do. Look at it. It is 99%. It is 99%.
I'm trying to see. I know the Rockies haven't been at home in a while. They just were in Milwaukee for a while. Never mind. Yeah, that's I don't know. So you're gonna fade the public like you've been doing?
Let's see what Dead. What do you think about that? What does that tell you? What do you do if you see a 99%er? I want to hear how you would go about.
Yeah, I would lean the under. I said that this morning at 11.5 on the show I was on earlier, but I think the White Sox win it here. I actually like their money line most in this game. I'm still all in on the White Sox. Yeah, I think they'll still make the playoffs. I think they'll actually make some noise in the playoffs. I know Kopech, his record isn't great, but I still think he has a really high ceiling in the majors. I love his stuff, but they just haven't really picked him up. I mean, he's another guy that should definitely have a better record than the 3-6.
Well, yeah, you're forgetting he's only 26.
That's what I mean. He's still so young.
Plenty of time. It's just this team. I mean, this team had a lot of hope after last year winning their division. Maybe
you know what it is.
Oh, I know what it is. Please let me say it. Tony La Russa needs to stop freaking intentionally walking people when they have two strikes. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in baseball.
Bizarre. Yeah,
it's very bizarre, but he also is. It's not even just that. I just think he's a terrible manager at this point in his career. Phenomenal manager for his career. Phenomenal manager, but at this point in the game's passed him by, and he just doesn't make the right decisions.
Let's see how you guys. Let's see how well you guys know Tony La Russa. You guys know who Tony La Russa, who he got his first World Series ring with?
Wasn't it the Cardinals?
Well, I would.
I'm cheating. I'm Googling.
Did he coach Oakland?
There it is. It is.
Wow.
Think about how long ago that was. The Battle of the Bay is the World Series he won.
He's a dinosaur.
Dodgers.
He's a dinosaur.
Think about that, guys. Think about how long ago. What was that, 88 or 89? I'm not sure the exact year, but it's one of those two. That's how long he's been a baseball coach for, and that says a lot about what he's done, how he's done. He obviously won the couple World Series there with the Cardinals too. Yeah. But this guy's an old school manager in a new school age.
I'm really surprised that they didn't fire him. I mean, I know they're back to 500. I mean, they've been under the 500 mark though essentially all year.
It's not his fault. Listen, I don't want to go on the whole White Sox thing here. I like Tim Anderson. I like the makeup of their lineup. Abreu's much older than people even realize. He is past his prime already. He came over from Cuba very late in his career. They just don't have that. Who's their guy? Eloy Jimenez? Come on.
They have plenty of guys. They have Lou Bob. They just need a new coach. It's not the fact that they just need a new face in there too. They need a new voice. They just need a revamp. But let's keep it moving. A couple games left. We want to get the people more picks.
What do we got, boys?
Man in the back is giving
Giants
us
and D-backs. Giants a little bit of a lull here, guys. Losers of 5 in a row. They were getting not only no hit yesterday, they were under a perfect game until Merrill Kelly lost there in the 6th. Who, by the way, is having back-to-back great pitching performances. But today you got don't fade him. Rodon on the mound for the Giants today, 8.5, 2.9 ERA. Gilbert on the mound for the D-backs, 0-3, 5.3 ERA. Giants are pretty big money line favorites today, minus 200 in some spots. Caesar says it as minus 190. Alpha, what do you think?
Man, this one's a tough one because I do lean the under, and then you take a look at the public betting percentage, it's another 97. It's the day of 95-plus public betting percentages. I don't like to back those. But when you look into in-depth numbers here, Tyler Gilbert's been much better at home. He's 0-0, but he has a 1.46 ERA on the roads where he's kind of got roughed up a little bit. And it's Carlos Rodon coming in off a really bad performance last week. He got blown up, what was it, in the 6th inning? On the road, he's 4-4 with a 3.5 ERA. So if you're 4-4 on the road with a 3.5 ERA, means the team is not hitting for you. I really want to take the under here, but I'm scared seeing that many people also on the under. May give that out later. It's so early in the day. I'll wait to see where that line bounces a little bit. But I definitely have a strong lean on the under 8 in this.
Yeah, I like the Giants a lot here at that -1 line. Rodon last game, he did get touched up a little, but I don't know if you were watching. It was like a pop up to the right fielder. I think he lost it in the lights, but it was
you're right. He did.
Plays
he did, yeah.
I've seen all year. So I think that cost him like 4 runs or 3 runs in that game. I trust him here to be able to handle this Arizona lineup. The Giants score the 2nd most runs in baseball against lefties, so they typically touch them up. They're top 3 in home runs against lefties. They they don't have a great average against them, but they score runs against left-handed pitching. So I think the Giants kind of blitz them early here and get it done.
Quickly, before we go to Hefe on this one, just found Rodon did make a recent appearance on July 4th in Arizona. They lost 8-3 to the D-backs in this exact same redemption spot. Can he potentially get a win here? He just got beaten by them a couple weeks ago in this exact spot in Arizona.
I actually, I'm with Dead here. I think the Giants win this game. I think I keep going back to the same idea. This is a team that's right there on the cusp. They've lost 5 in a row. They can't really afford to lose anymore. It's a big week. They got to figure out which way they're going. The team rallies tonight. I think Rodon has a better pitch performance than he had in past on the road. Then they put up some runs and quiet this D-backs lineup, who really is kind of playing outside of their card right now. They're just playing. They're playing better than they should be. They're on a good stretch. They actually did this before earlier in the year. I think it's the decline of the D-backs. I'm going with the Giants.
I'm with you.
All right. Boys, you want to cover the Dodgers game? We're going to get right into best bets. I know we don't have it on the slate.
We didn't cover the Dodgers game. Look, I'll say this about the Dodgers.
Quickly.
They win 45 games in a row, and then they lose 2 to 3 games in a row. I am always worried after they lose one of these weird games to take the Dodgers back. They're once again an insane money line, minus 260. White's on the mound, who's their worst pitcher. He's 1-2, 3.7 ERA. Gray on the mound for the Nationals. He's 7-6, 4.4 ERA. It's a layoff spot for me.
I gotta play on this one, guys. I am all over the under in this spot. The line is a little elevated because Michael White's on the mound for the Dodgers, but the Nationals bats are not going to have 2 big performances in a row. I think the Dodgers.
They did not even have a big performance. I said, you guys saw how they score their runs? Once I still want somebody to explain to me how Juan Soto's hit last night was a fair ball. It made no sense.
It didn't.
Did you see that? Did you see it?
I didn't see it live or anything. I did not. I hopped on the Nationals live they were winning 4-1 and they were -1 at 5. And I was like, it's not the best spot, but they have a 3-run lead. So,
can you imagine seeing
it's
that?
crazy.
I want to know what went through your head as you open your sports book and saw they're up 4-1 and they're still underdogs. -105. It's unbelievable.
It was the 6th inning. It wasn't
unbelievable.
Yeah, because you know why? Because that inning after they scored,
they had bases.
They had bases loaded with Mookie Betts 1 out, and Mookie Betts had the worst at bat of his professional career. He pulled a Carlos Beltran. He just kept the bat on his back the whole time, and that never swung it one time.
Batting .266 this year, Mookie. Not having a great
year. All-Star, though.
Still an All-Star, but it's a fan vote. Get out of here. Jose Trevino was a backup All-Star.
MLB All-Star game is the biggest sham in voting I've ever seen. Don't even get me started on that. How Dylan sees it.
Everyone was an All-Star.
Hey, Shout out Dead Prez, YouTube. Same guy, Chris Rosas, giving Dead a lot
I
of
lost
love.
my eyebrows and said I'm Dr. Guest.
Dr.
Give me a
Guest,
DM, baby.
what country club are you from? What frat are you with? And where do you get your eyebrows done? You have a lot of questions to answer. To
He's
this.
an Alpha frat. Alpha does his eyebrows. Gotta love it. Boys,
All
ready to
right.
go into some best bets? Want me to yell at you? Let's get it, boys. Best bets. I'll start first. Let's dive into it. First one today, Twins Brewers over 9. Somehow man in the back never puts my favorite plays on the show. That's fine. Second favorite play, Dodgers Nationals under 9. Third favorite play today is also a play we didn't go over. Astros Athletics over 7, 95% on the under there.
Oh, that's another game. I can't believe the A's. Why A's winning games?
Makes no sense. They don't really want to win games.
That's crazy.
Dead Prez, we don't have to ask you for a million. I know you're on a million shows. Can you give us one or two of your favorites today?
Yeah, well, yeah. So I'll go back to. Let me think here. So I'll start it with the. I'm gonna go with the White Sox as one of my favorite plays because I think Impact turns in a nice performance here. Their offense should kind of get loose at quarters. I think they have one of the better offenses in baseball when they're right. So I think they'll put up a good amount of runs, and then we'll stick with the Giants there at the -1 line. They've been raking against.
I like that, John. I like that.
All right, man on the back, get something together. If Dead Prez sweeps, whoever retweets this show or commented in the show, we'll give away $100. I think Dead's sweeping. Let's give some money away. F.A., what you got?
I'm rolling with the Giants on the run line. I'm there with Dead. I'm rolling with the Fish Sticks, the Marlins on the money line, and I'm backing the Braves. Rolling with Schreider. Sorry.
So right as we hype him up, you throw it right in his face, so we're fading his Braves, his Phillies. Very
my Phillies.
Sorry. All right, guys, that does it for us today on Off the Bat. Thank you, Dead, for coming on, chopping it up with us, talking some baseball, some laughs. It was a great show. We will be back tomorrow. We got more special guests every day. We got guests this week. Super excited about it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And until then, we'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the baseball.
Let's go Yankees, baby. Phillies are trash.